Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Friday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. Typically I do my stream on a Thursday night, but I had to kick it to Friday because there were some other things going on. So I am here on Friday, and what's great about that is, tomorrow's Saturday. So it's just us having fun. So what am I working on tonight? Great question. So I did this charcoal horse on Tuesday, and I really like the style of it. So I thought I'm going to try to copy this style or a similar style to this, or at least follow the same steps that I did to create this horse, but instead do like a dog just to see how that would look. So if that's cool for you guys, feel free to hang out with me and chat while we do this doggo picture in charcoal, kind of stylized. The whole point behind the horse was that we wanted to kind of keep it loose and make it kind of like stylized with some different techniques that we've tried in the past that maybe we tried different ways. But like this time we're gonna pull it all together and you know create like a really cool dog. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. There are some people in the chat I wanted to give a shout out to. We've got Rome Dog in here. We've got Okay Larry. Larry says, "Hey Jeremy, can we name the dog Kingsford? Get it because it's charcoal." And so yes, absolutely. Seems like my camera's glitching, but you guys don't care. You don't need to look at me. Um, yeah, Rome Dog. We got Treasure Warriors in the house. Awesome. We got Eddie Sedgwick. That's cool from New York City. Nice. We got Kevin in the house. Yeah, Kevin says it's Friday night. Let's get drunk. I got my whiskey right here. So all right. So I'm just gonna jump right in. If you guys remember on Tuesday, the basic technique was I'm gonna start by using this blending stump to create a really soft kind of like block in, kind of like mass in, essentially really soft an idea of where the dog might be. We're kind of freehanding this, so we're just kind of blocking this in on the fly. Um, this is a golden retriever, so hopefully it turns out looking like a golden retriever. But you know, I'm not really sure where it's going to occupy on this, like the space is going to occupy on this page. I had more of an idea with the horse, so we're going to have to kind of feel our way around on this one. So it might be a little while before we get the basic shape that we want. Um, I think that I actually want the dog to be much bigger than this, so let me bring this out a little bit more. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Oh, we got Tom in here. Nice. Yeah, everybody's working on drinking. I mean, it's Friday night. Why not, right? Nobody's got to go to work tomorrow. For you youngins, there's no school. Well, if you're a youngin, really, you really shouldn't be drinking. So nix that. Never mind. I don't want to be a bad influence. Um, but you can still hang out and have a good time. You don't have to drink. I will drink for you. So the idea here, like with the horse, is you're kind of using this blending stump to get an idea of where shadows might be for this horse or for this dog, not horse. Sorry. You can see I've been drinking already. I got started early today, uh, but kind of getting an idea of where the shadows might be on this doggo. So this is the head of the dog. Somewhere around here probably is the nose. Underneath here would be his mustache. Gonna come down a little bit fur in the ear. Kevin says, in reality, I'm cleaning the kitchen before settling in for the evening. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Didn't seem like there was that much going on this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do. There is a after dark, I think that's the name of the event thing going on at the Cincinnati Art Museum, but that's not until next weekend. I think I might go to that. That sounds really cool. I've been to one before. It was pretty nice. So I might go to that. The museum in Cincinnati, the art museum in Cincinnati, is really nice. It's free, doesn't cost anything. Like apparently some rich person left like an endowment in their will or something like that. So it's always free to go there. They've got some really nice pieces. And then the After Dark thing is kind of cool because like I don't know, they have like a DJ, they have like drinks and food and stuff like that. Like they have food trucks and everything. So it's kind of cool. I've been to one before. I think I might go to this one. But this weekend I have no idea. Rum Dog wants to pet this dog. Yes, absolutely you can pet this dog. This dog, hopefully, when it's all said and done, will look very cute. Again, I use the blending tool just to keep this all kind of like nice and soft. Um, it's meant to look kind of like wispy, and since I don't really know where everything's going yet, it also keeps it where I can like easily erase it, move things around. Like I'm not committed to any of these like marks really. Like that, it could just be like background if I want to. I don't have to like actually make it part of the dog. So I really like this technique. There's other things that I've done in the past for like, you know, massing in a figure. I kind of like this one because everything's kept nice and soft. Hey, kids in the house, nice. Pet at your own risk. You might get smudgy hands. You know, it's funny. I used to whenever I used to grill out, I would always be like, oh, I don't want to touch the charcoal. I always like grilling out with charcoal. Like I'm a charcoal person, not like a propane person. Um, but I would always be like, oh, I got to go wash my hands because I got charcoal on my hands. Ever since I started drawing in charcoal, now I don't care. Now it's like I'll have charcoal on my hands throughout the entire grilling process. I just don't care anymore. I think his legs down here. Um, this is an unfamiliar shape for me. Usually, like with the horse I'm used to doing horses' faces and maybe like the necks, kind of like a portrait of a horse. I'm not used to doing the full body of a horse, so that was a little bit challenging. It's the same deal with this doggo. So like I'm used to doing dog faces. Um, I'm not used to doing like full on entire body dogs. He's starting to look a little bit like Chewbacca here. Anybody watching the new Acolyte Star Wars show? They have a Wookiee Jedi on that. Seems pretty cool. The rest of the show's kind of garbage, but like the Wookiee Jedi is kind of neat. I like Star Wars, but this one it's kind of hard to follow the plot and everything. I think Mandalorian's probably the best Star Wars that they've got, and everything else is kind of a little weak. Like well no, that's not true. Sorry. The best Star Wars that they've got is Andor. Andor is really good. I enjoyed that. And then Mandalorian. I guess Mandalorian's probably better for like masses and stuff. Um, but like I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's supposed to be like their main like stories where they were supposed to be making movies out of that kind of type story. I don't see it. I don't know. I feel like Ahsoka could have done better. I feel like this new one could do better. I do like Andor. I'd like to see some more Andor. Andor is kind of like this political thriller. It's based on the early days of the rebellion and like what all went into like the rebellion. Some of you guys probably don't even care about Star Wars. So Tom says, Tech Friday. That's the drink of his choice. Nice. Um, yeah, I don't think you got it, Rome. I did. Hmm. Might have missed something. Sometimes I need to pay attention to chat more. Get off on my own little tangent. I love the wood taste when barbecuing. I am a huge fan of charcoal. Like I get why people use propane. That makes sense. I mean, it's a lot more convenient and everything. But I'm a charcoal person. It's like I think propane is supposed to be actually be better for you. Like you're not really supposed to eat a bunch of charcoal, but I don't care. I mean that's what it's all about for me. The flavor of the charcoal. I think. Yeah. So happy Father's Day for the fathers in the room. That's what's going on this weekend. I knew there was something going on. When I started thinking about grilling, that's what came to mind. Got some spare ribs that I'm going to be grilling for my dad. So yeah, it's Father's Day weekend, so that's cool. Um, some people are fathers to their puppies. I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about that. Like some people are into like fur babies and stuff like that. I don't know. That's tough for me to get into, like calling them fur babies and stuff. But if that's your thing, I'm not going to fault you too bad. Starting to get a little bit of a shape of a dog in here. Again, this is all freehanding, so it's tough with unfamiliar shapes. Yeah, my camera keeps glitching again. I think it's the USB port on this thing is like a little bit um loose, but whatever. Um, Poor Geppetto is still blind. Yeah, I need to give him a face. Sorry. Eddie says, I can't abide the smell of propane. Yeah, like, I don't know. Some people might say the same about charcoal, though. I don't know. Eddie says, I'm so sick of Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm ready to vomit. Can they come up with something new for God's sake? All that money and all we get is another iteration. I kind of agree with that. So I like Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm a huge fan. So I kind of I like I want to like them, but yeah, I totally see the point. And I've actually made the actually made the argument on this show a couple of times, just meandering and stuff. Like why is there nothing new? It's like Star Wars, Star Trek. I love it. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of a lot of things that they just kind of recycle and everything. But it's like, you know, we should not be at a stage in pop culture where they're just regurgitating stuff that I remember when I was young. Um, I get it. Like they're trying to make money off of something that's something solid that they know that there's a fan base for and everything like that. I get all that. I'm just saying that like there should be new stuff. Like that's one of the cool things about Marvel. Like when they started doing the Iron Man movies and then later the rest of the Avengers, that was kind of new. They like that was something they hadn't done before. They'd done like superhero movies and stuff like that, but you know that was kind of new territory and they did it well. I mean, that was good back in the day. I mean, some of the Marvel nowadays, it's like they really need to go back and fix some of that stuff. But at least when the Marvel movies first came out, it was new territory. Why can't they do more things like that? Like, yeah, I kind of agree. Why do they keep going back to the well? Um, I like the original Star Trek, but that's it. Yeah, I like the Star Trek universe more than the Star Wars universe, but as far as the movies go, I don't know. Larry says, I grill both ways. Both have their purposes. I can see that. I just love the taste of charcoal, like smoked um, type deal. Like I'm pretty good at smoking meat nowadays. Like whenever Thanksgiving comes around, I like to smoke my turkey. Uh, that took me a while to like. It took most of my adult life to be able to learn how to actually smoke meats without them coming out like all pink and bloody and stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm just kind of going through and I'm adding some shadow in here, just kind of blocking out this dog. This stage of it is really just kind of figuring out where everything is. We're not worried about details at this point. Um, this is almost the exact same process as for doing the horse. So that's really what this is about for me. Like that's the exercise here is like, can I duplicate the process and maybe some of the elements of the style and come up with something that looks similar in style and stuff because that's important to me. I want to be able to create art that is consistent and you know like so far my coffee paintings are pretty consistent, but I don't want that to be like my only thing, right? I want to be able to like do other things with some consistency as well. Okay, Larry says, I was a big fan of Babylon 5. I have all five seasons. Nice. I didn't really watch a lot of that, but I heard a lot of great things about it. It's like, I consider myself a Doctor Who fan, but I haven't seen most of the Doctor Who, you know. Like, I'm a fan of a lot more sci-fi than I actually watch because, like, time's limited and all that stuff. Doesn't mean I don't like it, though. There's a lot of shows that are coming back. Like we've got The Boys that's back. I know that's not for everybody. That's a very adult show. The Boys, like you really shouldn't be watching that if you're younger or if you just don't like I don't know like graphic violence and things like that. It's it's intentionally ridiculous when it comes to that. Um, but House of the Dragon, I think, is coming back. I think that's the name of it. That's the Game of Thrones spinoff, which is really good. Like if you guys haven't seen that, that was really good. Season one of that last year. So I'm really looking forward to season two. Always a fan of George R. R. Martin. I guess that's technically sci-fi as well. More like fantasy. I don't know what you would call that genre. He used to grill twice a day. The RV park. One day I ate 20 burgers just cause. Jeez, that's a lot of burgers. I could eat like 20 small sliders, like White Castle sliders, but even that would make me sick. Hey, possibly odd. How's it going? Okay, Larry says I enjoy smoking, but light smoke. Um, yeah. So I've got. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the snake um technique? That's where you take and you line your grill with like a snake of charcoal all the way around, and then you light one end of it and it kind of burns itself around and kind of like smokes all your meat over a period of time. That's what I like to do, and then I put a couple of wood chips on top of it. So I guess that would be lightly smoking it as well. That's the technique I usually do, and it works really well. Like I am surprised at how long you can keep that charcoal going by building a snake out of it. Like if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up a like snake method of doing smoked meat. Because like I don't have like a smoker or anything like that. I do it all in the grill, but I don't feel like I need a smoker really because it comes out pretty good. So this little golden retriever, he's got some fluff in his fur, like little curly cues and stuff like that. I need to make sure that I get all of that in there. It's funny. So far I'm still just using this blending stump. That's what I like about this technique. It's kind of cool. You get a very soft picture, but you're not like boxed in by dark areas or anything like that. At this point, I'm still just trying to figure out where all the shadows are. I got the basic shape of the dog in here now, so that's cool. Um, but like I'm still extending the dog out a little bit, maybe on this side. And then I think my next step would be the water effect, where I come in and try to add a little bit of water to this guy. That's why I have it fully taped down, by the way. So this is mixed media paper, um, and that's pretty good for like light amount of water. Like obviously you would want something more like watercolor or something like that. Um, Watercolor paper if you were like doing heavy water, but I don't do heavy water for these charcoal pictures. I kind of try to keep it light. All right, so I feel like that's pretty good. I want to get the um the eyes in here because I feel like they're remind me not to drink my charcoal water. Okay, so this is one of the techniques. So I dip my charcoal pencil in the water just so that it comes out blended and soft. So I kind of want to get these eyes in here just so that, you know, they're kind of like visual anchor points while I'm working on some of the other items. So by dipping it in that water, it's automatically going to come out sort of like soft and blended. And then also I found that it comes out super dark when you do that as well, or it just happens to with these pencils. So I like that effect. It worked really nice with the horse, so I'm doing it again here. And it's a little bit early to be doing the eyes because like I really want to kind of finish developing the dog a little bit before I get into details and stuff. But I find that like when I'm doing a live stream, I want the dog to look like a dog before I'm really ready for it to, just because, you know, you guys are watching, you guys deserve to see something interesting on the screen. So like it's kind of my job to deliver that to you quicker. Like we're only like 20 minutes into this, but you know, I wanted to look like a dog pretty early on. Again, same deal with the horse. I wanted the horse to kind of develop pretty quickly. So get a little bit of an eye in there, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of the nose as well. At least the bits that kind of come in, and then they circle around. I don't know what you would call this, like kind of like a bit of a hook nose, or I don't know what you call this, like horns, curly cues. I don't know. Anywho, it doesn't matter. It's a nose. I might use an eraser and kind of lift some of that up a little bit later on. Anyway, just getting the guy going. Maybe add in a little bit of his mouth here. Sounds like my dogs were back there snoring. Pretty bad. He's got an adorable face already. He's nice. Hey, Lorraine's in the house. Nice. All right, I'm going to move this water over here because I have a habit for those of you who are new to the show or you don't hop in all that often. I have a habit of accidentally drinking my art water instead of my whiskey. I don't want to do that tonight, so I got to move it over there. All right, so the other bit, so that's two techniques that I did in the last one that I think worked really well. As you can see, starting to look like a dog. The other technique that I enjoy doing is taking a brush and just grabbing a little bit of water over my charcoal stick and then just kind of coming in and treating it almost like watercolor. So I think this is nice because it lets you put in some like really smooth areas. Again, it looks like watercolor. Um, and I think it's a neat effect. So the idea is that like it's not just a picture of a dog; it's a picture of a stylized dog. Um, you know, I could draw a dog in charcoal. I've got a million of them on the wall back there, but I want to develop a cool style so that it's not just like a boring picture of a dog. Not that any picture of a dog is ever really boring, but I just want to kind of like develop a style that's consistent that I can duplicate. And this is a type of task that I give myself when I'm trying to like learn a new skill. So it's one thing to be able to do it once, you know, for the horse or whatever. But if you can do it multiple times with multiple different subjects, then you've actually got something that's useful. Like if you just do a cool style once, that's great. But if you can do it multiple times, and it doesn't matter if you're doing a horse, a dog, a cat, a person, or whatever, you can do like a consistent style, then you've got something going for you. Like that's what I've developed with the coffee paintings. That's what I want to be able to develop with other mediums as well. So anyway, happy Friday, Lorraine. Maybe when I scoop that T-shirt. Let's smoke that T-shirt. Sounds like Larry needs to start a YouTube show where he's doing smoked meats and things like that. That would be awesome. I would watch that. Some of those are pretty good. Like I do actually watch those. Uh, I can't think of anybody that comes to mind that I'd recommend or even remember who their names are, but I mean, most everything I've learned about cooking has come from YouTube. I came with no skills as an adult. Like when I became an adult and I had to like cook for myself and my mom wasn't cooking for me anymore, I had no skills. I think maybe when I was a teenager, I could cook like chicken because I had like one recipe. So like chicken with paprika on it. That's about it. That's the only thing I could ever cook. And the thing is, I cooked that so much when I was a teenager that I remember like all the instructions. So like you preheat the oven to 425, you put like oil on, you put the paprika on it. I remember like everything about that recipe. But that's it. That's all I really knew like going into it. It wasn't until like I was an adult and I tried. So speaking of like smoking meat, the very first time I tried to cook ribs, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had one of those like I want to call them an apartment grill. They're like the little small grills that are probably only good for like cooking burgers. Um, and they're not even like propped up. They come on like a little tiny stand or something like that. Um, so anyway, my idea was like, oh well, I'm going to cook some ribs on this, even though it's really only made for burgers. Um, that didn't go very well at all. So I kind of gave up on it for a couple of years, and then I came back to it. I'm like, well, I can do this. I can smoke some meat and stuff. The challenge that I find, I don't know, you guys are probably better experts on it than I am, but the challenge I always found with that is like, how do you keep your how do you keep your grill or smoker or whatever a consistent like I don't know 210 degrees or whatever the number is. That's challenging for me, especially like just dealing with charcoal and just having a grill and not like a smoker and stuff. But I figured it out. I'm pretty good at it now. That snake method. You guys should look that up. It's really actually good. I do like the t-shirt idea. I'd scoop that. That's pretty good. Could just be like a bunch of like adorable animals. Like I don't know. It could just be these drawings and stuff of animals. And say I'd scoop that on it. It'd be great. I think we got a little bit of a face going here. Like it. See if I can get down in here and get some similar marks. And then I'm trying to think what's next after this, as far as like my technique goes. I think maybe I'll come in and I'll try to like add some not not detail, but just like darken in some areas that need to be darkened in. Like the tonal values aren't here yet. In case you're wondering what that is, that's all your like shadows and it's got the basics of things going here, but there are some areas that should be darker. I do like just painting with charcoal though. Like I've done a couple of pieces where I've experimented with that. None of them have gone very well in the past, but I like this technique where you start with a picture that you already kind of blocked in with the blending tool. I think there's a term for that blending tool. It's not just like a blending tool. It's like or a blending stump or whatever. Like I think there's an actual term for it. I don't know what that is. Maybe if maybe if some actual artist out there, not just some self-taught guy like me, knows what these things are called, these blending stumps, maybe you can put a comment or something down so I can learn something. Because I'll probably forget to look it up. Tortilla, tor, tortillon. Is that what they're called? Huh. I love my Weber kettle. Ah, kettle. Yeah, that would really work well for smoking meat. Tortillon. That sounds familiar. Maybe that is what they're called. That's cool. Yeah. For those of you guys who are new, I am a self-taught artist, and with a little bit of experience. I mean, I've been doing this for like a year now. I'm still learning, but I don't know all the terms and stuff. I barely know how to actually create a picture, but I'm working on it. You know, even if I ever did know the term, I probably would have forgotten it. Because like I actually subscribe to the idea that you can only keep so much information in your head. Like Sherlock Holmes talks about like Eddie says I might have misspelled it. It's French. I think you're right. I remember seeing that on a package somewhere, like maybe when I bought these or something. All right. Um, yeah. Anyway, I've subscribed to the idea. Like, I don't know. Probably other people have expressed it as well, but I recall like Sherlock Holmes had this idea where the mind is like an attic. Like he called it like the mind attic. Even the newer version of Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch and stuff. He called it like a mind palace. But in both of these, like it's always been consistent in like Sherlock Holmes lore that you know you can only hold so many things in your brain at one time. Like I don't know if there's actually like a real scientific upper limit or whatever, but there's a practical limit at least where if you fill up your brain with a bunch of nonsense, like you have trouble remembering things that are important. And I don't know if that's scientifically true or whatever, like, but it seems to be the case for me. So I just go with it. And I try not to fill up my head with a bunch of useless stuff. I try to only fill it up with things that are important, things that I need to remember. Plus, like, I'm not just an artist. I also do like programming, which you literally have to remember a lot of stuff for that. And I don't want to. I don't want to fill my brain with a bunch of useless garbage, like what a tortellini is, or tortillion, or I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but yeah. So darkening in some of this fur through here, which is nice. I like um I like fur because it's a lot of fun to paint and draw because like it really is like you have like at least three different layers of fur, and as you start building them up, they really starts looking cool and realistic. And of course, all I'm doing with this charcoal is just the same as like watercolor. I'm using less water to make it darker, just like if it's watercolor. The only difference is I noticed that with the horse picture, this does dry a lot lighter than it looks when it goes on the paper. Like when it actually dries, it comes out like a little bit more grayer than darker. And he says, I love Jeremy Brett as Holmes. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. And what's cool is like it used to be that you couldn't find that stuff, but all of that stuff is like on Amazon nowadays. Like you can go Amazon Prime Video. You can go back and you can go back and watch all the Sherlocks, even the old Sherlocks, like Sherlock Holmes, like Basil Rathbone, like way back in the day and stuff. Like that stuff stands up. It kind of like held up well, not really. I mean, it's like it's kind of an old movie, but anyway, I think it kind of holds up. But yeah, I like Jeremy Bright. He's really good as Sherlock. Um, Basil Rathbone, classic. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Um, I think it's like if you're a British actor, at some point you have to play Sherlock Holmes. I think it's like a requirement. Like Ian McKellen has played an old Sherlock Holmes. It's still watchable because it isn't woke. Okay. I mean, Basil Rathbone's from like the 19 crap, I don't know. A long time ago. So, but like there wasn't anything anti-woke in that either. Like there wasn't anything like controversial. I don't think. But yeah, that stuff it's held up. It's good stuff. Nothing like a good mystery show. And then like I don't know, I've always been like a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. So for me, it's always been like Sherlock Holmes. But Agatha Christie movies. Peter Cushing probably played Holmes. Yeah, I think everybody basically, if you're a British actor, at some point you play Sherlock Holmes. Like just in recent years, Ian McKellen played like an older Sherlock Holmes who kind of has lost some of his mental faculties and stuff like that. Um, that was actually really good. I just watched that again the other day, and It was actually really, really good because it was a different take on Sherlock Holmes. Like I like when they go back and they kind of take the same material. Like the same material's been around since the 1800s. It's not like they're inventing new material. They're just doing different takes on it, and that's what I really like. Well, okay, so they are inventing new material. I misspoke there, um, but like Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes, what I really liked about that show is even though it's set in modern times, they'd go back and they'd use some of the phrases and they use some of the like like they would update some of the stuff for modern audiences where like instead of the game is afoot, they would say the game is on, but it's still the same sentiment. I mean, it still felt very much like Sherlock Holmes. That's what I loved about that show. It was really good. Um, first season, first two seasons or whatever were better than like the last ones, but it's still pretty good. I just like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a really good actor. Kid says, Jeremy, that doggo is looking super sweet. The eyes are perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Still a little bit of ways to go before I feel comfortable with the body of it, but it's getting there. This might be a bit much. Yeah, that's I want to make sure that like I get enough detail in here where he doesn't just look like he's just like completely abstract. I like to with my pictures I like to go from like the detail to the abstract. So got a little ways to go before I feel comfortable calling him kind of like in between. You know what I mean? Bring this part out here. What I like about building the dog up is that you really are kind of like feeling out where he might be on the page in real time. So like even though I'm kind of stuck with this face. Not that there's anything wrong with the face, but I am kind of committed to where the face is going to be. So this is going to be his head regardless because like it is where it is. But the body is still pretty much in flux. I'm still figuring it out. Each drawing that I do, especially ones where I'm drawing it completely free-handed and I didn't take the time to measure things out, things like that, it is it is an interesting challenge. And I like how this guy is looking so far. Looking, he's looking scoopable, as they say. I'm gonna start using that term so they become the catchphrase. For the record, for those who don't know, Kid invented the term scoopable, and I've kind of adopted it. I love that term. So whenever I draw something cute, Kid will say, "Oh, that's very scoopable," and I'm like, "All right, cool." Now I don't always draw cute things, so it's gonna be a little awkward. Like if I draw something for I don't know, like Halloween or something that's like horror show or something like that. You can't really call that scoopable, but cross that bridge when I get to it. A gator leash. Hmm. Retriever looks golden. Jeremy, amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've never heard that term before. Scoopable? Yeah, she might have invented it. I don't know. I like it though. Scoopable. I think it works. He does look kind of look like a golden retriever, so that's good. How are we doing on time? Yeah, so we're only like 40 minutes into this so far, and we've already got the basics of the dog in here, so that's good. Like the basics of where the dog is on the page. I feel like if I was at a park drawing this dog, like a portrait of this dog while I was sitting there waiting, that dog's not going to like wait too long. So that's good too, because that's one of my goals. My goals are create something that looks good and also create it as fast as possible. Now, it doesn't have to be super fast. I can fudge a little bit on the time, but it is it is nice when I can get a picture that kind of looks like a good basics of a dog. in a relatively short period of time. That's good. Or whatever it is I'm drawing. The same with the horse the other day that I drew. It's like, if I go out into a field and I'm drawing a horse, I want to make sure that I can draw that horse pretty quick. So, I'm trying to think. In my reference picture, he doesn't actually have paws. That part's cut off. So I think I'm gonna have to invent some paws here, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. That's what the imagination's for. Better trademark that kid. Do any of you play pool? I play pool. I mean, I don't play it a lot. I mean, pool's fun. I don't play it a lot because I haven't been to a bar that has pool tables in a long time, and I don't have one myself. None of my friends do, but I used to play. It used to be like that, and bowling is basically all you could do in the small town that I lived in back in the day, and so I played a little bit. I am fascinated by people who play it professionally, both pool and bowling. Like that's just amazing to me. The precision of a professional pool player. Through here, that's going to be a little bit darker. I think I'm just going to kind of abstract this out. Just kind of give a hint of this is back paw. One, two, three. Yeah. And then fourth paw kind of comes out here. There you go. And then like a little bit of a tail. Dog toes. Yeah, dog toes are tough. I think I'm just going to kind of like. The cool thing about drawing or drawing, and I was going to say drawing in this style, but just drawing in general is, you know, if you kind of blob in certain features, so this already looks like a paw, right? I can just add like some little toenails. Um, that's what's great about the kind of drawing that I like to do, where you're just kind of massing in these things. Um, there's alternative ways to draw that are pretty popular, and it's not like I'm knocking them. I just it's just this is how I prefer. So one of the alternative ways of drawing, which again, there's nothing wrong with, you might try to draw all the different shapes that make up this dog and kind of refine those shapes. To me, it's more like working with like a lump of clay to do it this way. So instead of like I don't know, building like a wire mesh, like essentially of the dog's parts, this is like kind of working in like some clay and kind of refining the clay, almost like you're sculpting. And this works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but that's okay. Do whatever works for you, as long as as long as it does work. All right, so I kind of want to not with this. I'm gonna put this to the side. I'm gonna go back to my tortellini or whatever it's called. Tortini. I don't know. I don't remember what the term is. Like that's how quickly I forget things. So I want this guy to kind of be sitting on a beach, right? So I'm just gonna kind of, just like with the horse, I'm just gonna kind of put in some real easy kind of texture back here. Like this could be like dirt. It could be like vegetation, whatever you want it to be. Get some shadows in down here. Tortillion. That's tortillion. So I'm for those who don't know, most of you guys have been on this show for a while, but I'm from Kentucky. It's tough for me to even pronounce my own name. Like I'm not original. Well, actually, I am originally from Kentucky. I was born in Kentucky, but I didn't spend like most of my life in Kentucky. But even, regardless of the fact, it's tough for me to pronounce those fancy words like tor tortilla tortillon. It's not gonna work. Retrievers are awesome dogs. They really are. I love. They're just so cute and friendly. Scoopable. I keep saying it. So, yeah, these work really well for just putting in soft areas. Now, there's other ways I could do this. I could be doing this with I could do this with the watercolor. I can do this with, you know, a brush. Bunch of different things I could do. They're all fine. You know, I can use my finger to smooth things out. Whatever you prefer. It's just I'm trying a bunch of different techniques at one time. So I think I need to bring this guy's leg out further. This is what I like about doing things nice and soft like this without a lot of detail, is because I see that probably his leg really needs to come out a lot further, just so that he's not like an anorexic skinny dog. So get some of that out there. Hot dogs are tacos. Jennifer Lawrence is from Kentucky. I heard that. Yeah, there's a couple of people from Tartillon. Tartillon. It's so tough, guys. You guys tune in to watch me draw and not pronounce words. I don't know. Maybe you guys do watch it. Get some enjoyment out of watching me mispronounce words. I don't know. If so, happy to oblige. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, I think, is from Kentucky. Johnny Depp is from Kentucky. Trying to think, Ashley Judd, even though she's been kind of out of the news for a while. I don't I don't think Ashley Judd makes movies anymore. I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything. But yeah, we've back in the day, Hunter S. Thompson, one of my favorite writers. He's pretty cool. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, great book. I think he might have done some other books that I like, but if you ever get a chance to read Hunter S. Thompson's take on the Kentucky Derby, it's great. And what's cool is that does stand the test of time. So like his take on the Kentucky Derby, is probably pretty accurate for modern times. All right, so looking pretty good so far. Let's see. Remove some of this stuff out of here. Doesn't really lift that much after you've like embedded it in the paper with water, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to do some sketching now, just to kind of get a little bit of an idea of some details in here. So I know there's like some dark fur that kind of comes in and kind of curls back over here on this side, leading into the ear. So I'm going to get all of that in there. And then through here, there's like some dark areas. I'll come back and try to like blend this here in a minute, but I just wanted to get some of these darker areas in. Here in his mouth, make sure that that's all in there. So, anybody got any plans for like Father's Day? Any of you guys dads out there doing anything special or have anybody do something special for you? Because I think that is Sunday. Um, I think it works for granddads too. Do granddads have their own special day? I think they do. Grand Granddad Day. I don't know. Hot dogs or tacos? Have you ever watched Winter's Bone? I'm not sure I saw that one. Trying to think of like Jennifer Lawrence movies that I like. Of course, I mostly know her from like the X-Men movies. I think that's where she really got her start. But what was it? Silver Lining Playbook or something like that? That was pretty good. I think she was in that with Bradley Cooper. She played what was it, Red Sparrow, which was like one of those Russian spy kind of deals. She's pretty good in that. Yeah, Grandparents' Day. There you go. Okay, so there is a Grandparents' Day. Gotcha. Yeah, an English bulldog. That's cool. Somebody wanted me to draw a bulldog tonight, and I just wasn't ready for it. I think I will be drawing a bulldog at some point. The other thing I want to draw, I don't know why I haven't gotten to this because I think they're adorable. A pug. Anybody into pugs out there? I love pugs. I don't know if you guys ever seen the it's kind of a meme. The pug eyeing the pizza. I love that picture. It's always tough to do the ears, because like you want to get the detail in there, but you don't want to overdo it because like the ears are not not really the focal point. You kind of want to keep those a little bit loose, but also you want to make sure that they have enough detail in there so that you can tell that, you know, it is fur lined and so on. Like when drawing a people person portrait. Um, the ears are important because they're almost like part of the hairstyle and stuff of if you were doing like a people portrait, but also they're not the focal point, so you kind of want to not let them take over. So in my view, and I've talked about this before, whenever you're wanting to like kind of control what somebody's looking at, one of the ways you do that is you kind of control the amount of detail in certain areas. So like the more detailed something is, the more somebody's going to focus on that part. It's almost like if you cross your eyes or something and you like let them go out of focus, it's easy for me. I just take off my glasses. The blurry stuff you can't really focus on. And then if you put your hand in front of your face, you can see all the lines in your hand because they're more detailed. So that's kind of how it is with drawing. You want people to kind of like zone in on the more detailed areas. Lawrence's success went to her head. What has she been in lately? Like, is she doing anything now? Jennifer Lawrence? I mean, she has been pretty successful. Like, I think at least one Oscar, right? I don't know. But yeah, she probably had. I mean, she's also young, though. Like, for that much success at such a young age, it's hard to it's hard to imagine not going to your head. Like when, like the thing about Hollywood is, I would imagine it's kind of tough for these actors out there in Hollywood because, especially like young actors and stuff, um, who are just getting started, I guess. So I would imagine like it'd be tough. Like literally everybody's telling you how great you are on a daily basis, right? And I can see that going to their heads. I can see that being tough for them to like kind of block out. To me, and I actually truly believe this. I'm not an actor. I've never been in Hollywood or anything like that. But I do have some like kind of like life philosophies, and one of them is that you should never believe what they say about you, good or bad. So if somebody is just all negative and all they have is bad things to say about you, that is probably not true stuff. And there's really no like point in believing that stuff and like taking that personally or anything like that. Like if somebody just wants to talk crap about you, don't take that personally. Like that's more a reflection on them, especially if it's not true, right? So I hold that as one of my core things that I keep in mind, right? Never believe what they say about you that's bad. But then also conversely, I don't think that you should really believe what they say about you that's good either. Because that's the kind of stuff that'll go to your head. Like some people compliment my art, but I don't hold that in my head, because each piece is different. Just because somebody likes my art doesn't mean I'm a great artist, doesn't mean I'm a bad artist either. It's just, each time that I go in to draw something, I have to start over fresh. It's a brand new piece and stuff. So I can't let that stuff go to my head. So I really firmly believe that you should not believe the stuff that people say about you that's good either. I know it sounds weird because like people want to believe the good stuff that they hear about themselves, but I don't think you should fixate on that. I really don't. You should just look at every single thing. Like your own worth. You don't need somebody else to validate it. Um, like they don't know enough about you in order to make a real judgment anyway. And that's my actual view on it and stuff. Like never believe what they say about you, good or bad, because they really don't know what they're talking about. They don't know you well enough to be able to comment. Um, anyway, that's my view on it. That's the way I've always looked at it. So I think that would be good advice for people in Hollywood, especially young people who like are constantly being told by their agents or like other people like how great they are and how they're the next big thing and all that stuff. Like that could really mess with your head because it's fleeting. It's not going to last forever. At some point, they're going to be saying something different. They're going to be like, "You're a has-been. You're not getting any new work. All that stuff." So don't I don't know why I'm telling you guys like this. I don't think, as far as I know, none of you guys are in Hollywood. But my advice to people in Hollywood would be like, just shut out all that noise. Just do good work, do your best work. Don't worry about what they say about you. That's my take on it. What were we calling this guy? Kingston? He looks like a Kingston. So it's tough to get the little marks underneath his chin here because it is kind of like it's kind of you know, uh, it's like folds and stuff. He's got like a little pound puppy face here. And it's kind of funny, like you saw how fast we kind of marked all this stuff in. At this point, you're kind of going back and you're refining all these different things. Um, it is kind of interesting how the face kind of starts coming out of it. Thanks, Eddie. I mean, honestly, I need to write a book of like all my core philosophies. That's definitely one of them. Never believe what they say about you, good or bad. Um, plus, I don't know, like if you let's say that you were like let's say you were paying attention to what they were saying about you, right? So like say they are saying good things about you. How is that useful, right? So like you go around saying like people are always saying like let's say that people are saying you're a good artist, right? That's great. That's awesome that people feel that way about you. But that doesn't mean that the next work that you're doing doesn't require your attention. Like you have to still be able to produce good work. So what does it matter that somebody's saying that you're a good artist if you still have to each time come in and create something good? It's not like that feedback is going to help you. Now, if somebody was telling you that you're a bad artist, maybe that's actually helpful. Somebody telling you that your work sucks, and maybe you can build off of that and like improve or something like that. But even then, you really shouldn't be putting a lot of like emphasis on, people's opinion about your art because maybe it's just that one piece that kind of sucked, or, I don't, I don't know. After I lost Dottie, I didn't think I wanted another 17 years is a long time. That's how I feel about pets too. Every single one of my pets, somebody's talked me into it, and looking back, I'm so happy that they did. But no, I didn't want them because like it's usually after like you lost a pet or something, and you're just like not wanting to go through all that again. But yeah, these two dogs and stuff. People have talked me into getting dogs, and I'm glad I have. I love my dogs, but it's always tough. Um, I've mentioned before my actual art goal is to get good at drawing pets, and then like just draw people's pets when they pass away and stuff is like a good deed. That's still my goal. I would love to do that. I would love to do that full time. Like that's my retirement plan. One day I will retire and just draw people's pets. It might be a while. Maybe if I get there. But yeah, that would be awesome actually. I I don't know how like I would let people know. Like I guess maybe go to vet offices and just kind of tell them like, look, I'm drawing people's pets. If anybody has a pet that passes away, let them know. It's an adorable doggy. All right, I feel like this dog is scoopable, but I don't want to influence you guys' opinion. Like you guys let me know, but I like the technique here. I like that we're basically using the same techniques that I used in the horse. I mean, it's a little bit more challenging because this dog does have more fur. So with the horse, you're drawing mostly muscle, and muscle tone is easier, I think, to draw in charcoal. Here you have a lot more detail. You have a lot more variation in fur. So it does take a little bit longer, I think. Even if you're like doing it kind of loosely, like which I feel like this is. I mean, not exactly loose, but so he almost looks like he's wearing a dog clown costume. So like you got the dog face, and then you got kind of like the mane here and stuff, and then the rest of it's just so like saggy at this point that he looks like he's wearing a dog clown costume. Or like a Wookiee, like I was talking about the Jedi Wookiee earlier. Um, he looks like he's wearing a suit, like a dog suit or something. So this is me just kind of loosely putting in some darker marks. The further you get away from your face, I feel like the more loose you can be, and I like to just kind of, you know, just let the marks go wherever they want. All right, so I'm liking that. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go back to messing with the brush because there was a third thing that I did with the horse that I liked, and I don't know how it's going to look on here, so I just kind of wanted to try it a little bit. And that's the splatters. So I liked doing the splatters. Yeah, it looks like it disconnected real quick. All right, it looks like we're back. Sorry, every now and then I have like some internet issues. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. So getting these splotches in here. The other thing that's cool about charcoal is it's like super cheap, you know. You can you can like waste charcoal essentially and it's not going to like set you back too much. I think I could buy a whole brand new set of charcoal for like $5 if I wanted to. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry a little bit while I think through some of these other features. Back in here, gonna create some more detail. Being an animal parent, you have to look at the new ones as brothers and sisters. That's a good way to look at it. I like that because they are family. You know, each one holds a special place in your heart. That's so true. I think I shared my last dog before I got these guys, and I've had these guys for like at least a decade. I don't remember how long I've had them. They've been around for a while though. My last dog before getting Guinness. Guinness is a little bit older than Bear. Not much. They're basically brothers and sister, or siblings of the same age. Um, but the dog before that one was tough. You know, when that dog passed away, I was like, I don't think I want any dogs ever again. Like honestly, that dog was my best friend. Like my that dog went with me everywhere. I treat these dogs differently because of that dog. Like these dogs are more like dogs. That dog before, Mocha, her name was, um, she was like she was like a human friend to me. I would take her everywhere with me in the car. Like these guys, I take them out every now and then and stuff, but not half as much as like basically Mocha would go with me everywhere. Like I wouldn't even go a place if I couldn't take the dog, and it's kind of tough. I feel like these guys, I treat more like dogs than I treated Mocha. I don't think that's fair to them, but that's just I don't know coping mechanism, I guess. But they are like family, and they are every one of them's unique. The other thing is like when I got Guinness, like I wasn't I wasn't too impressed with Guinness from like a dog standpoint. I'm like I thought he was like broken or defective or something because like I don't know, he wouldn't do anything that I wanted him to do as a dog. There was one thing that he would do a lot. Like this is something he's very good at is he likes to fetch things. Like if you throw something, he'll go and get it for you. Um, like you can train a dog to do that, but he just took to it naturally. Like he likes to go and fetch things. He likes it when you throw things at him. Um, so like, but that's basically the only thing he did that was dog-like. It wasn't until I got my other dog, Bear, that Guinness really kind of like opened out of his shell. I think Guinness actually thought he was a cat until I got the other dog. After I got the other dog, then he started acting more dog-like. Um, he's so cute now. Like he's a little bit older than I'd like him to be. So I don't know how much longer I've got with him and stuff, but I'm really enjoying his company now. Like I said, when he was the first a little puppy, I was like, I he's my dog. I'm gonna take care of him and everything. But I don't know if I'm impressed by him as a dog. But he really opened up, and now it's like he's just adorable. He's just super cute. I really love Guinness now, and it pains me to say I'm not sure I could have said that back when I first got him. When I first got him, I'm like, oh, I don't know. He's kind of weird, but I grew to like him. He was patient with me, I guess, is a good way to put it. Not that I was patient with him. He was patient with me. The problem was mine, not his. You know, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. So I like this picture, and I do like this style. Like this is very similar to how the horse turned out. And what I like about this is in charcoal, it's very similar to my coffee paintings. It's not exactly like my coffee paintings. I like my coffee paintings more, but this is kind of an equivalent to it, I think. Thanks, Rome. I appreciate that. Um, you know, but more interesting than just a simple drawing of a dog. Yeah, some more interesting thing going on. It's almost like he's in a cloud of dirt here. I don't know if I like that. I need to kind of get some other features in here so that you know that his leg is down here, for example. Probably should wait until the end to do all the splat stuff because now I'm kind of having to work around it, but that's okay. We're doing on time. Yeah, we're only at this for about an hour. That's cool. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, you know, allowing me to do this on a Friday instead of Thursday. I was gonna do this yesterday, but a lot of you guys come from that like treasure hunting forum, and I know that there was, I don't know, that there was a stream that advertised at least to be important. I thought maybe you guys might want to watch it. I watched it. I wasn't too impressed by it. Like, I don't know if like we learned anything new there, but to each their own, I guess. But I thought you guys might want to watch that, and I'm happy to do these on Friday every now and then. The only reason why I switched from Friday, I used to do them on Fridays for those of you who didn't know that, but the only reason I switched from Friday to Thursday, I would prefer to do them on Fridays, to be honest. I would prefer to hang out with you guys on Fridays because like tomorrow's Saturday, it's like very low key, um, chill vibe and all that stuff. I like that. The only problem is that most of the art related things are actually scheduled on Friday. Like I mentioned that art after dark thing at the Cincinnati Museum. Um, that's on Friday, right? So like everything's always on a Friday. Gallery openings, even tonight, if I wasn't here doing this, or there's a figure art thing at a local gallery that I could have gone to. The Loudon House. I love the Loudon House, by the way. If you guys ever make it to Lexington, it's kind of this building that kind of looks like a castle, but they turned it into like an art gallery. It's very cool. Anyway, they're doing like figure drawing tonight, and if I wasn't doing this, I'd be there. Honestly, I think that would be kind of cool. They have these every now and then, and I keep putting them off, and I still want to do it. That's looking really good. I like this. Anyway, sorry. Um, yeah, Larry says like I didn't get anything out of last night's stream. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be surprised if anybody did. To each their own, I guess. Everybody takes things differently, but no, I didn't get anything out of it either. I didn't really watch it straight through. I watched the gist of it, but I feel like it was already stuff we already knew. It wasn't anything new. I mean, they're the big revelation that that Shiloh guy doesn't have isn't going to give anything out. I mean, I feel like he's already said that. Like I don't feel like that's new information. So the technique here, I'm using a little bit of water, but mostly it's kind of a dry brush at this point. You're just kind of moving the Didn't even know Lee was from Scrapbook 197. I didn't know that either. Yeah, yeah. Um. Anyway, it's kind of a hybrid technique here between like a wet and a dry brush and stuff. You're basically just moving the charcoal around. But all right, so paw comes down. I think this would be the bottom of the paw here. It is nice to put it in face with me. But anyway, like I said, I think that was just. I mean, I think we already knew that information anyway. I don't think there's any kind of anything new there. So this would be the bottom of a paw. Over here, again, this isn't in my reference picture, so I'm just going to kind of leave this a little bit abstracted. So you see, I'm putting down charcoal there, and then I'm just kind of going back over it with the brush. I like that. I think it's cool. It kind of like just super blends it out. Over here, I do think I want to kind of define the dog paw here a little bit more because I don't want it to all be abstract, you know. And then this is kind of what it is, and you know, in this, the further you get away from the focus. So I want you to look at his face, right? His face is adorable. It's a beautiful face. The more you get away from the face, the more abstract it can be, and not just the more abstract it could be, the more abstract it should be, because like you really want to drive that attention towards the face. So down here, you don't really need to spend a lot of time defining features. Like it's enough to draw this here, and you know, now you know that's a paw because it looks like a paw and it's close enough to being a paw that you don't really need a ton of detail down there. Now I might, round like develop it a little bit more, but I don't really need to. Like you get the idea that that's a paw. Um, Down here, I think I'll put in some more splatter. And then now I don't have to worry about that at all because you don't have to like you don't know where the paw ends and so on. So I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. Get some dark areas through here. Chatted Tyke was a treasure, but everyone else was looking for fun swears. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like he sure is taking his time, Shiloh, and putting out some information. So like, I don't know if he's yeah, even kid says no, not I got nothing out of it. So I don't know. Are we like maybe we're waiting on a book? Maybe we're waiting on some media project. I don't really know. I don't know, and I'm not sure it really matters. It's like my curiosity is there. Basically, anything that they put out, I'll eventually get around to watching it. But it's like I don't feel like I need to wait with bated breath for something to happen. It's like eventually I'll hear about it and I'll learn about it. I don't feel like I need to like be there ground zero or anything like that. Yeah, I had never heard of Lee before either, Larry. I really hadn't. Like I'm still not 100% sure what they're talking about there, but anyway, so like you got that Netflix documentary that's coming out. Um, there's there's like a question of when that actually is going to air. I know I did send a text to like the Gum Street Productions people, the people who are like working on that, and they said it's done. They said it's done. It's been sent off to like Netflix at some point, and it's just whenever they get around to it, I guess. And in my mind, it's like, yeah, sure, I want to see that, but it's like I'm not that invested in it where I need to like be the first to see that. I mean, I feel like I'll learn about it at some point and I'll just watch it then. It's like I'm not I'm not stressed about it. I feel like it's the same thing with whatever Shiloh's up to. It's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, sure. Whenever he gets around to doing something, I'll watch it. I'll read. If it's a book, I'll read it. I mean, I am kind of a fan, so like, obviously, I'm gonna be interested. But I don't feel like I'm that stressed about it. Where I mean, I don't know what the fun part of fun and answers is. I guess it's fun to wait. Eddie says, I gotta go, guys. Enjoy the stream. I'll see you again the next one. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate you hanging out with us. It's a lot of fun for me, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching me work on this dog. And I'm glad that you're gonna be back for future ones. Appreciate it. Anybody else who's new, this is basically it. I draw pictures, I hang out with people. It's a lot of fun. Um, Whatever you guys want to talk about, like I usually just kind of stream of consciousness, whatever comes to mind. But you guys want to talk about movies, TV shows, things like that. Apparently, Eddie thinks that Star Wars is terrible now. I get it. If you guys want to talk about Star Wars, I'm up for that. I haven't seen any good movies lately. Like I kind of want to go see Garfield, but also I kind of just will probably wait until Garfield comes out on streaming service or something like that. But Garfield looks like that might be fun. But it's been a while since I've been to the movies. The theater around here is actually not that expensive. So we have a couple of theaters. We have really nice theaters, and those are expensive. But the local theater here, um, if you watch a matinee, it's only like $6. So it's not like a big investment to go and watch a movie. I don't know why I don't watch more of them. It's just like I don't know. I haven't seen anything really super interesting come out lately. Garfield looks fun. I might go and watch that this weekend. Okay, Larry says I almost met Brian Gates at the finale. He has been on 3 times with him. Yeah, it seemed like they were good friends. I don't watch a lot of those streams. I know that they're out pretty regularly. People are. It's amazing to me that people are still like doing a lot of live streams for like force fin stuff. I'm of the opinion that like there's nothing new. It's like I don't know why um, there's so much effort being put into it. It's like it's the same conversation every time. It's like there's never any new information. So um, that's just my take on it. I realize that's like not everybody's point of view, but so I don't watch a lot of the streams. Like even Calazar's, I don't watch that every week. Um, I watch it every now and then just out of curiosity, but I really don't feel like there's anything new on that channel either. They basically have been saying the same thing for 4 years. Every now, well, no, that's not true. Okay, so every now and then there is new information, like, but it's so rare. It is so rare, and then, you know, it's like it's not, the new information really isn't anything. I don't know. I don't want to criticize it too much, but it does feel like it's repetitive. So I don't watch a lot of that stuff. Obviously I go on bench show every now and then just for fun because like that is a lot of fun. The hot sauce challenge thing was fun. From dog, I'm recovering. Oh no, what are you recovering from? Yeah, best wishes for speedy recovery. There's like some esoteric streams and stuff regarding like the force fin stuff. I don't watch any of those. Like, and then by esoteric I mean like just random people and stuff doing live streams. Like there's probably one going on right now. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. All right, so we got another pause. So we got 4 paws and then kind of a tail back here. It's kind of a little bit abstract, but most of the streams I watch are art shows like this. Um, just because, like, you guys enjoy coming in here and watching me do like a picture. I enjoy that too. I enjoy watching other people's pictures being developed. It's just so satisfying to me to watch something come out of nothing. Like um, I really enjoy going back and watching these things from the beginning, and especially like in the time lapse and stuff like that, where you have a blank piece of paper and then something materializes on that paper. You young people out there, like I know some of you guys are pretty young. You don't know what Polaroid pictures are, but back in the day, you used to have these Polaroid pictures where they come out like they're kind of like a little square piece of film, and you like flip them and they develop right in front of you. That's how I feel like this art stuff is. It's like it's so cool to go back and look at a blank piece of paper and watch a dog materialize on the paper. You know, that kind of stuff is cool. I'm just putting in like some ground covered here. Some dunes. Maybe that's what I'll watch. Dune 2 is I think on Max now, and I really enjoyed the first one. I didn't see the second one in theaters because I knew it would be coming out on Max pretty quick. So I didn't go and see that in theaters, even though that's the kind of movie that I would watch in theaters just because it's like, it's such a visual spectacle that I like seeing that on a big screen. Like that's why I go and watch Marvel movies in theaters. Like I don't really feel like I need to watch Marvel movies in theaters, except that there's always a lot of cool stuff going on. So I do want to see that on a big screen. Obviously, if they make another Star Wars movie, I'll go and watch that in theaters. But Dune, yeah, I kind of feel like that's one I regret not seeing in theaters. At least on Ben's channel when he plays smokes weed every day, makes you want to dance in your chair. It is a lot of fun. Um, I don't know if he's still in here. He was in here earlier, so I kid Ben a lot. Like, I mean, I think he's a little bit batshit crazy, but who isn't? And at least his stuff is fun. Like, I barely ever agree with Ben on anything, but he's so much fun. Him and Ashley, they're basically rock stars. Um, I don't believe half of what he says, like barely even half. I believe like 1/8 of what Ben ever says. That or not that I don't believe with that. I should say I don't agree with 99% of what he says. That's a bit much. 88%. There you go. I don't agree with 88% of what Ben says, but he's so much fun and he's a cool guy. I like him. He may be completely full of shit, but he's a lot of fun. Same with Ashley. Like Ashley's pretty cool. Um, I've gone on their channel sometimes, and it's like Halloween. We've got this tradition where we do this. Like this is just me and Ashley. That's not even Ben. Um, she she does like a she's got like lightweight psychic ability kind of, and we always try to reach out to like Forrest Finn and at Halloween, like a little Halloween seance. And the reason why we do that, is, I think it was my suggestion, is back in the day, um, Harry Houdini, I think, died on Halloween, and every year they try to do like a seance to talk to Harry Houdini. And I think that's so cool. It's like it's Halloween. You should have some fun like that. Internet connection keeps going in and out. Sorry. Um, but they're all good people. The whole community there and stuff. I mean, I would love to go to Vegas and meet up with people. That would be so cool. Probably not going to, but it still would be a lot of fun. Everybody's got like these weird personalities, but I think for the most part, people get along. All right, so I'm gonna add some more splatter just because like that looks a little too smooth. Um, been trying to get Kid to tell us some of her fence stories. Kid says, Larry, I did find something cool in New Mexico, which I sent a picture to Jeremy to get his thoughts on. It is kind of cool. I didn't know that Kid was a New Mexico searcher, which I only found out recently, and I think that's kind of cool because I was a New Mexico searcher myself, and it sounds like Kid was maybe searching a little bit to the west of where I was. I was in the Cimarron Canyon area, but it's always cool to like meet another New Mexico searcher, even when it was going on. Um, I ran into two people, like actually boots on the ground and stuff, and I thought that was so cool. Um, one of them, I think I told the story on here. Stole my campsite. Like we went to go get food and came back, and she had set up camp, and she had recognized me from Dale's blog, and we got to talking. It was a lot of fun. We just stayed up all night around a campfire, just shooting the shit about the book and just swapping stories and stuff like that. And then the other guy, I don't know. I kind of lost track of him. I don't know where he is these days, but I had come down off of the hillside where I was looking, and he was down at the bottom, and you could tell he was like messing around with. Ben is in here. Yeah, Ben. I only agree with like 70% of what you say. It keeps going down a little bit. I think I mentioned like 88% earlier. 70% of what you say. There you go. But you're a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun hanging out with Ben. He says we finally got to the Stoof movie, Jeremy. Babetta got it. Anyway, hopefully that's not too bad. Problem's not on your guys' end. It's on mine. Probably the internet. Kentucky internet. Yeah, it's kind of a cute puppy. Um. Anyway, yeah. So like, the other guy that I met while I was out boots on the ground, I had come down off of the hillside where I was looking, and he was down at the foot of the trail, and he was like playing with something, and I'm like, that's a metal detector. That guy's a forest fen searcher, and it's kind of funny because like you could just spot a forest fen searcher. It's like we all know each other. It like on some basic level. So Um, anyway, I saw him down there. He was playing with a metal detector. I'm like, oh, I know what you're looking for. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, same thing I am. And I showed him my metal detector and stuff. And it's like, he was a pretty cool guy too. And I don't know what he's up to nowadays. But he was pretty active on Thor, the website. So anyway, I got to talking to him and stuff. I mean, he had different ideas of like this is actually what I kind of find fascinating. He had different ideas. Like we were both searching the same place, like basically the same trail out there in the woods, but he had totally different reasons for being there than I did. Um, like he saw something in the rocks out there that reminded him of like an Egyptian god, and me, I saw something in the illustrations that kind of made me think that like this was like a map or something like that. We both had totally different reasons for being out there, and I just find that so fascinating. It's like it's so subjective, everybody's experience is so personal. It's just fascinating. There's nothing like it in the entire world, really. There isn't. That whole thing is such a weird experience, such a weird thing for us to have gone through. I don't think you'll ever see anything like it. That treasure hunt, you know, $1.3 million I think it went for eventually, in gold, heading out there in the Rocky Mountains. That ain't ever gonna happen again. There might be other treasure hunts where it's like a lot of money or whatever, but it's gonna be like sanitized and clinical and things like. It's not gonna be like an old cowboy treasure hunt or a pirate treasure hunt or anything like that. That's what was so cool about Forrest Finn's treasure hunt is it felt raw and natural, there's that new treasure hunt that's coming out in October. It's supposed to be worth like $2 million. I mean, okay, that's cool. I'll probably participate, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be that same pirate kind of treasure hunt that we experienced with Forrest Fenn. I thought that was awesome. I mean, sure, there's some batshit crazy people out there and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you know, those people are weird. I get it and everything like that. But beyond, I mean, what do you expect? It's a freaking treasure hunt. Millions of dollars on the line. Like even in Indiana Jones and stuff, you had the Nazis and the Jovitos and all the bad guys and everything. I probably shouldn't say Nazis. Like the algorithm will like bury this video. Sorry, YouTube. Anyway, I think this guy looks kind of cool. Yeah, he's a golden retriever happy dog. I can't do it now because I kind of like drew myself in a corner, but I would love to have put like a little floppy tongue sticking out here. That would be cool. Kid says, yeah, but if I ever got caught digging, it was going to be like for two. So my idea was like if I so say I found the treasure, right? And you know, I was coming down off the hill. So my spot was a little bit up a hill and everything like that, and it was in not a national park, but a state park. And I always thought like, yeah, okay, somebody could catch me coming down the hillside or coming down the trail or something like that, and they'd be like, "What are you up to?" Right? So my idea was that I was going to do a Goonie style thing where um, there was like all these gold coins. I was just going to take all those gold coins and put them in one pocket, and then put all the treasure in my backpack, so that if you know, I don't even know what kind of rangers they'd have out there, but say there was a ranger or something like that, I'd be like, okay, yeah, you caught me. Here's this treasure chest and stuff, but I wouldn't give them my marble bag of coins. So I was gonna take like 10 grand worth of coins and just put them in my pocket, essentially, Goonie style. Because that's what they did in Goonies, you know, they had the little marble bag full of gems. It's like a little backup. I like this guy. He looks cute. So I don't know what he's like, what's going on behind this dog. This could be like sand dunes or something. I get in the reference picture he's sitting on a beach. I don't know if this really looks like a beach. It's just kind of a little crazy out there. But yeah, um, I I don't know if kid really wants me to put out there too much about like where she was looking. So I feel like she can talk about it. I can't, but I was surprised that she was a New Mexico searcher as well. All the best searchers were New Mexico searchers. I was just gonna say, like, I get it. Everybody was into like the whole Wyoming thing, but I like New Mexico. I like New Mexico because of like Billy the Kid. Like I grew up with watching Young Guns and you know that whole story with Billy the Kid and just cowboys in general. It's fun. Well, guys, I think I'm getting pretty close to calling this done. I'm not sure. Like we're at the hour 40 minute mark, and I'm not sure like what else I can do without overdoing it in this picture. It looks pretty busy as it is. I think it looks kind of cool. Like I don't know if it matches what I had in mind when I was setting out to do this picture. I'm gonna say sure, but so like the idea was that I would do something similar to my horse picture from the other day. Oops, sorry. So if you put them side by side, let's see, what's the best way to do this? I'll just do it like this. So if you put them side by side, they do look like they're kind of in the similar style, a little bit different, but kind of similar style. So that's cool. I mean, you know, that's what I was kind of shooting for. Probably if I had to do this over again, I would have been like a little bit tighter on composition with this dog. I feel like I could have done some improvements there. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with that. I think he looks cute. I'm gonna have to come up with a scoopable scale. So like where yeah, you guys get to rate the drawing that I do like on a scale of like 1 to 5 scoops or 1 to 5, yeah, 1 to 5 scoops. Like how scoopable is this dog picture? Is it 1 through 5? I don't know. He looks happy though. He looks kind of cute. Tom says he looks nice. That's cool. Tom says awesome dog. Rome Dog says that's a good boy. Rome Dog says Kingsford is all over my clean sheets. Okay. Uh, Rome Dog says 5 Dalmatian style. Actually, like that would be kind of cool to do like a Dalmatian in charcoal. I just really like the versatility of charcoal. So like as we've seen here, like there's a bunch of different techniques that can went into this. So like you're using just drawing with a pencil, you're using painting with a brush, you're using splatter with a brush, you're using you know even the basic form of the dog came out of the tortellini or whatever we're calling it, the tortino, uh, the blending stuff essentially. So a lot of different techniques went into this picture. I think it looks pretty cool. Kid says all dogs should be 10 scoops. On a scale of 1 to 5, should be a 10. The hedgehog would have been a 5. Nice. All right, cool. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it just because like I don't really want to overdo this picture. I think it's probably done quite a bit already. Um, but I like the style. I haven't decided. I'll probably come back tomorrow, Saturday, and do like a pastel picture, just because I haven't done one in a while, like one of my pastel landscapes. But we'll see. Sometimes I wake up a little bit late on a Saturday, so I can't guarantee you that I will be here. Like if I do a Saturday live stream, it's because I woke up early enough. If I don't, it's because I slept in. Sorry. Um, but yeah, so I might be back tomorrow. If not, I'll be back on Tuesday. I hope you guys really enjoy your Father's Day for those who participate. Okay, Larry says, why is Georgia all-time country buffets? I may have to drive to Brunswick for Father's Day. Man, at least they have them there. The like best we've got around here is a Golden Corral. It's pretty sad as far as like buffets go. Anyway, yeah. Hopefully you guys have a good time this weekend and have a good Father's Day. I probably will be back tomorrow. If not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Hopefully you guys like this dog. I think it was fun to do something in similar style as to what I did on Tuesday, but tomorrow I'll do something colorful. So anyway, happy Father's Day, everybody. I'll see you guys on Tuesday at least, maybe tomorrow. See ya. Bye. Have a good one.